right now, and hello everyone, and welcome to another video from Speed Engineering. What you see here is the pit lane of the Bilster Berg. It's quite a famous racetrack in Germany, which is, well, actually it's not an official racetrack, so there are no races here, but what we do is a lot of testing, and also the industry and the automotive industry is doing lots of testing. It's called the Little Nordschleife. It's obvious a lot smaller than a Nordschleife, but it has lots of elements from this very famous racetrack. And what do we do here today? We are here with GP Days. GP Days is getting attacked, sorry. GP Days is doing its events here, it's doing track days here, and we have the chance to test our products, which we will do today, and I will take you today with us and show you what we are testing. Very important product, the OBD speed tracker to track your temperatures, oil temperature, etc. for quite famous cars like the Toyota GR Yaris, for example. And we are also offering a track service for the customers of GP Days. Means that you can go on the wheel load scale. Dennis will show you the total weight, will show you the weight per axle, per wheel, and we'll discuss to you the profile of your tire and give you some tips about the suspension, etc. And yeah, this is what we're doing today, and we are happy that you're joining us. So the main reason why we are here on this racetrack is that we are just about to launch our new product. This is the Speed OBD-Tracker to track your temperatures in the car. Engine oil temperature, water temperature, exhaust temperature and intake temperature. You just need this little dongle, put it in the car, and you might say that there is already quite a bunch of products working like this little thing here, but this is completely wireless. The idea behind is to make it as easy as possible for the user. You can use your USB port in the car. You can plug it in and leave it as it is, or use it with a battery. That means also that it can be used for various cars. Like if you want to check the oil temperature for this track day on your friend's car, or maybe you have a second car, just switch the dongle to the other car and use it. You can also place it wherever you want to. So maybe the co-driver needs to know the temperatures because you just need to focus on the track. You see that the main focus is that we made it as easy and as plug and play as possible. Short break. And now I would say we should test it in our Supra, because I have no idea about the temperatures on the Supra. I have no idea about the oil temperature. Do we need an extra oil cooler for this car? The intake temperature, do we need an extra intercooler, especially on this hot weather? And in the future we will also have more horsepower. It means that we will run stage 2 or stage 3, maybe also with upgrade turbochargers. And I need to know what else do I also have to upgrade, because the Supra doesn't show any oil temperature at all, not intake and not exhaust. The same for various different cars. It doesn't work for every car, but we have a list where you can see what kind of temperature can be displayed with this gadget and for which car. So let's get into the Supra and test it on the track. The issue, especially with this car, is it's quite a new car. It's kind of a sports car, but it doesn't show the driver the temperature of the oil, for example. We have just a very small OBD plug. Just a second. We have a spare part here. You just plug it in to this OBD dongle in your car, and you have a Bluetooth connection to our tracker. And yeah, as mentioned before, it is completely wireless. You can use it with a wire for powering, or even with the battery. We are using it now with the battery. Now we are in the system info surface. It says connected, it has enough battery, and we can switch through the menus now, which is important for me now to know what will be the real oil temperature on the racetrack and the water temperature. Now we have 68 oil, 96 oil, 95 water. The exhaust temperature, we will see in a second, is 370 degree, and the intake temperature is 65, which is already quite high. And now let's do a couple of laps and see what the temperature or how it will change. I also have to mention then, this test is quite important for us because I would like to know how the intake and the exhaust temperatures react on this car, because the car is now stock and it will have at least a stage 1, or I think the car will also get a bigger turbo, so it will get a stage 2 or stage 3 map, and for sure the intake temperature for maybe is an intercooler required, and what happens with the oil temperature. Do we need a additional oil cooler for this car for the engine oil? Okay, this is already interesting. Only by the first corners we have an exhaust temperature of 880 degrees, 890. The intake temperature got reduced by more than 10 degrees only by the first corners. We will switch to the oil later. It will take a time for the oil to heat up. We are now half of the track and we already have 920 degrees of exhaust temperature. (950) exhaust temperature, 50 intake temperature. Now that's quite a fast corner. Yeah, now it went down to 900 again. 950. We have to do something about the intake air temperature for this car, as it is always more than 50 degrees, which is okay, but not perfect. But it seems very stable. It doesn't change that much, only by 1, 2 or 3 degrees. So what's now interesting to me is the oil. 123 for the oil, 126 even, and 100 for the water. 126 seems like a peak to me, like a maximum value. And now on the straight, the water should be reduced, and it is 102, 103, and now it should raise again. It seems that there is no issue with the oil temperature. It doesn't raise more than 126, which is high, but if it doesn't get over 130, it's okay, especially for this very hot day. So let's go back to the exhaust temperature and the intake temperature. Maybe something has changed over the last laps. No, still the same. Round about 900 to 950 in peak, and round about 50 to 55 for the intake temperature. Okay, after a couple of hot laps in our Supra, and with hot I mean really hot, also the weather, we have around about 30 degrees right now. We know what the Supra is running. It is surprisingly well for a stock car, which was moved to the limit right now. I would say the temperatures are also kind of at the limit. We had an oil temperature of 126, which is quite a lot, but it was stable. It didn't move further than this value. The intake temperature, for my feeling, is a little bit too hot, with around about 55 degrees in the peak. And I think that we should work on the intake to reduce this a little bit. The water temperature was fine. It was always around about 90 and 100 and maybe 115 in the peak, something like that. But what is interesting is the exhaust temperature. The temperature of the exhaust system was more than 950 degrees, which is quite a lot. And this leads to the point that if we are doing any modifications to this car, like an upgrade charger, stage 1 or stage 2 with more horsepower, we will run into trouble. Not because of the intake temperature, but definitely because of the exhaust temperature, which is new to me. That means that we will have to work on the exhaust system before we are doing an upgrade turbo, which could lead to major problems, not working on the exhaust system before working on the turbocharger. And yeah, I think that we will also get some engine oil temperature issues if we're running more power. But as long as we are stuck, we don't need an extra cooling for the oil. Very necessary information in this case. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was interesting for you. I think when we launch this video, we will already also launch this product. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.